welcome to a brand new episode of the Woolly Thistle Shopcast. It's December.
And it's cold out.
It snowed. Did you see?
Yes, I did see.
We're all in our woolies.
I know. So good.
I know. I'm Corinne. I own the Woolly Thistle, and this is Maggie, our sales and marketing manager and co-host of the Woolly Thistle show. And you were on the Facebook Live on Friday, which was so fun to watch.
If Grady will let me keep coming, I might keep going. It was a lot of fun.
You guys are so cute together.
It's just, I think too, it was just a fun experience to take like 30 minutes and pop into the group.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're
all the things, so we have a Facebook group, the Woolly Thistle Facebook group. It's free, and you're welcome to join. We hope you do. There's a link in the show notes.
Yeah.
And it's where all of our community members gather. They are almost 15,000 strong now.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable.
And
we also have a thriving Ravelry group as well, not to forget them. Some people are in both, some people are only in one. But yeah, Facebook lets us do Facebook Lives, as you well know, I'm sure.
Yeah,
and so
we did share a link to the live afterward in the Ravelry group so that people who are on Ravelry and on Facebook can still watch.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So we got to just kind of hang out. I got to see all of Grady's projects. I didn't bring anything to share.
Kind of like me last week compared to you, or not last week, last episode.
Yeah.
Maggie, who was in a knitting funk, did this and this and this and this and this and then spun this and
I spun my way through my funk.
And then got knitting. Yes.
Yeah,
it was impressive, Maggie.
It was fun to like realize like, oh, all right, I've been doing stuff.
Yeah,
but,
you're not really in a funk.
I kind of like, you'll see what I have to share today. So we'll decide whether or not the funk persists.
The funk persists.
But
yes, so feeling squirrely, very excited actually that it snowed because we haven't had any snow yet, and usually by now we've had plenty of snow.
Yeah.
And we've got snow.
Yeah, for it to be mid-December, and this was our first snow. And I think it was, maybe 2 inches?
Oh, it was hardly anything.
It was not much.
But I got out and I swept off my car. It was great. So knitting. I'm enjoying my knitting right now, so I'll be sharing what I'm knitting on.
Well, why don't you start? Why don't you
Shall we just do that? Shouldn't we talk about other things? I don't know.
I don't know.
You want to see my knitting?
Yeah.
So today, I'm going to start with what I'm wearing because it ties in with what I'm knitting. But this is my Tapestry Cowl in the 2 colors, which I just love this. And today it was finally cold enough to wear it.
And for anybody who might be new to us, the Tapestry Cowl is knit with Rauma Strikkegarn.
Yep.
And the pattern is available. This is the 2 color. The pattern is available in the shop, and you can pick any 2 colors you want.
Yep.
And we have the original kits for the original, which had 7 colors in it.
Yeah. Yes. Where is that? Oh.
Want me to grab it?
I don't know. I thought I had it.
It's over here. I can see it.
This is a pattern that I designed last year, maybe, or the year before now. I don't remember. Started off with 7 colors in Rauma Strikkegarn. Oh, they were good. It's so lovely. Oh, look at those colors. And it's nice and soft, isn't it? It's knitted in Strikkegarn, so it's a fingering sport weight.
I have been working on mine a little bit. I started one in Jameson and Smith.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I had to go back. I was looking to see, like, well, what did I knit this year? Like, I just couldn't even, like, was that this year or last year?
Yeah.
I was having that.
Yeah.
I was in that brain space.
Yeah.
And I have a few things that I haven't finished.
Yeah.
So I started making headway on this. It's so nice.
They're nice and big. You can wear it around twice or just once. You can knit it just 1 loop worth and just have it sit there. But I like my cowls to be up like this.
I'm probably at right around the distance for 1 loop, but I know I want it longer.
Yeah, so it's so nice just to fold it up. Yeah. So, so I'm wearing this, and underneath here is my, unnamed as yet sweater that I'm working on.
It's cozy.
I love this sweater. This is knitted, but this is the first prototype, and you can see I've got a bit of a neck issue happening here.
Okay.
And this is, I'm going to stand up. You can see that there's tons and tons of space back here. But I love this sweater. I knitted it in Studio Donegal, and I think once I have it perfectly, the pattern, I'm going to knit another one in Studio Donegal because I love this yarn. It was a little pilly at first, but I think I've now worn it through all of that, and it's not pilling now. So I think it's important to realize that some yarns, you know, especially when they're woolen spun, they have stuff everywhere, that sometimes they're going to take wearing to work, to work those loose fibers out. And I think I have worn this so much. I wear this every chance I get. So I really do love it.
I hadn't noticed.
Yes, I do. And so, but I felt like there was too much in the back. So then I knit this one. This is number 2. And this is in Biches Bûches. So this is an Aran white. And viewers will recognize it. I wore it on the last episode. It's a drop shoulder. There's shoulder shaping. This has more neck shaping. And it has less fabric in the back. However, the neck pooch was still happening with this.
Okay.
And it also took some figuring out on the back because now I had a lot less stitches. So the third one that I'm really enjoying knitting, this is in Lettlopi, which is just so much fun to knit.
I love Lettlopi.
It's such a go-to yarn, isn't it? So let's see. So this one, I've just cast on a sleeve, but this one I think is going to fit amazing. And it's not going to have the neck pooch because I've continued to work on shaping the neck as well as around the back, shaping that. Still with fewer stitches in the back. So your front actually has more stitches in it than the back. And once you're wearing it, it looks like it's right down the middle. Because, you know,
boobs in front, not
boobs
in the back.
in front, not in the back.
Yep.
Maybe this is why this is called boobs in front. I don't know. We'll not name this episode that. And you can see again where I blocked it. You can see that line going across there.
Yeah.
So I haven't blocked up here, but I just cast off the neck. It's a nice big cozy neck. This is totally next to skin for me. I'm not going to be worried by that at all. And yeah, so I just need to get the sleeves on, and I hopefully will be wearing this next time.
Wonderful.
So yeah. So that's what I'm knitting on.
What color Lettlopi is this? Because, you know, people are going to
is it 9426 or something? Something like that. We can put it here. I don't remember. I don't have the ball band on me.
Okay.
The dog probably got it that. I keep coming home and there's little chewed bits of ball bands because I put my yarn out of the way, but she'll find a ball band. Okay, so, yes. So, did that answer the question of what I'm knitting?
I think so. So you're working on your third.
My third prototype. It doesn't have a name yet. It's very cozy. I want it to be fairly stylish that you could, you know, wear as a cozy thing or dress it up a little bit. It's going to have full length sleeves. This beige one has full length sleeves, and I really like that.
Okay.
For this sweater, she's got the nice neck. Yeah. So we need a name. We need a name. I'll be thinking about that. But if anyone has a good suggestion, I'm all ears. That would be fun. Mm-hmm. I also just, before we go to you, Maggie, more on me.
By all means.
This is a pattern, and I was looking for my mitts this morning, and I dug these out. These are mittens designed by Kristin Drysdale of Scandi Work, and it's so cute because I memorialized them. It says EYF 2018 on there because I knit these on the way to Edinburgh Yarn Festival in 2018.
Are these what yarn?
I gotta figure that out. So I think it might be oh my gosh, what was her name? Not Otis, but Ovis.
Ovis, etc.
Yes, I think it might be that. I gotta look it up.
Oh.
And if it is, I would love to get more of her yarn in because it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Look at that. So much fun to knit mittens. I'd forgotten. Such a sweater knitter now, you know?
Yes.
So yeah, this reminded me of very happy times going to
your mitten.
Yes, thank you. Going back home to Scotland for EYF with my buddy Sarah of Fibre Trek, who, by the way, is putting out just the really, really nice podcasts on YouTube.
Nice. And does she put them on YouTube or are they on her website?
They are on her website, but she's putting them on YouTube as well. That's how I caught them. So if you want to watch someone who's multi-craftual, Sarah Fibre Trek, Trek with a K, just a TREK, well worth a view. All right, so that's everything from me today. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Throwover by Andrea Mowry. It's in a combination of handspun and Great Bay Woolworks.
Oh,
I've worn this before. It's one of my go-tos.
It's such a great sweater.
It's nice and cozy,
So,
easy to wear.
Is the cream handspun too?
The cream is handspun.
Wow.
It was spun by my friend Melody.
Oh, how nice! And then
the blue is I spun that.
And this is Great Bay Woolworks, which she's on the seacoast in New Hampshire. She has beautiful Romney flock. Yeah. And her yarn is amazing.
Yeah. It's wonderful. It's nice and cozy. I grabbed my shame is peeking out.
I know. We all have them.
Didn't weave it in. I usually do, and for some reason on this sweater there's a couple ends that just I'm like,
you just had to get it on.
I did, and then I just didn't get back to it. So so that's what I'm wearing.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
Nicely.
I love that
nice
color.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we're going to be talking a bit more about that color.
Yeah.
Should we show what's on the ladies?
Sure.
We never really talk about what's on the ladies.
Yeah, we should show what's on the ladies. So we can start over there.
Yeah, tell us about this.
That
Maggie.
is my half hap. That's a Hansel half, the half version, the large size. And I knitted that dark color is Armscote Manor's Black Welsh Mountain,
which we happen to have a skein here.
Yep.
Oh,
it's so pretty.
It really is. It's very special.
It's so soft.
It's really nice.
I think it's soft. It's still woolly and rustic.
Yeah.
But
so just lovely.
It's just lovely.
Yeah.
And then the colors were a mix of the cream was Woolly Mammoth's Dorset.
Oh.
And all of the gold and the peach were also some Woolly Mammoth that I had in stash. And the blue there, that teal is some blacker Cove.
That's right. Yeah. Gorgeous. Do you wear this?
I haven't it was in my closet and I was like, oh, I forgot, it's cold enough now. So I pulled it out. That's one reason it's here is I pulled it out. I'm like, I can be wrapping up in that. Yeah.
Now we don't have this in the shop right now, the Armscote, but it is coming in the new year.
Yeah.
So Armscote is a brilliant, beautiful yarn. There's just three shades or maybe four. But just to give you an idea of what they look like. So they come from Armscote Manor in Warwickshire in England, where they are basically trying to rescue the Portland sheep breed with their Portland yarn, which is this. It's this gorgeous cream color. And I always love talking about Armscote because this sheep breed was mentioned in the Domesday Book, which is from like 1100 and something, very long time ago. So I always feel this is an amazing yarn. And then they also have this gorgeous Black Welsh Mountain, which I think in itself is a conservation breed. I need to double check that, so don't quote me. But this always sells out really quickly too. Yeah. And then the blend of the two is this gorgeous gray, which is amazing. Yeah.
They're
nice.
Really lovely.
If you're itching to knit some of this lovely brown yarn, though, we do have somewhere, here we go. We do have in stock right now, which is amazing, is Berlin yarn from the Outer Hebrides. Her yarn is one of my favorites.
Yeah, so her cream is Cheviot.
Yes, that's right. That's Cheviot.
And the dark brown is Hebridean. Those little... And they're wonderful.
They are.
They would make an amazing hat.
Great story. If you're interested in finding out more about Armscote or Berlin yarn, you can find them on our website and read about their stories. If you look at the main menu and go to, what is it? Brand, and then click on Berlin yarn, you'll get their collection page, which talks about where this comes from and the people behind and the sheep behind the wool. Yeah. Same with Armscote. So encourage you to do that. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there.
That's okay.
I was very excited when you brought this in today.
Yeah, that's what's on this lovely model. And on this model, we have my vanilla fluff in the red. You can find the vanilla fluff kit. It's in the red. I love this. I've been wearing it a lot.
It's gorgeous.
And then we brought this back out because we were delighted last week when Mary Jane Mucklestone's Buness Tam pattern was released on Ravelry. So the yarn sets are now once again live in the shop.
I had to knit this when I saw it. It's from her Fair Isle book, right? Fair Isle
Weekend, yep.
Yeah,
which
Fair
is
Isle
out
Weekend.
Of print now, I think.
It was by Lina. So if you have that, you've got this already. But now, so we have yarn sets to go with the pattern that you can get off. Ooh, We like
right?
it.
It's so cute.
It is.
There you go.
What's up there? I'm feeling so silly today. So yes, a very quick knit too. Very fun and quick knit.
Yeah.
And it goes so well with your sweater.
It really does.
It really does.
Love
Love
it.
that. Love
If
that.
that goes missing, you'll know where it went.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so long as I know it's you. I just realized we haven't even looked at show notes.
I mean, I have.
Well, you have. You have. Well, then announce the winner,
Here,
Maggie.
well, so we'll announce a winner. If you'd like to be eligible for a prize, which we are giving away $25 gift cards to the Woolly Thistle, just leave us a comment below. You can let us know.
Yeah.
Anything. Just any kind of comment.
We love hearing from you.
We're just not picky here.
No. We love hearing from you.
Yep.
I will say that everybody leaves the nicest comments.
They really
don't they?
do.
Yeah.
They do. I've been trying to get through and read them,
Yes.
and we've been really busy with Black Friday, but I will get caught up. We will get caught up
Yes.
and read your comments. Thank you so much for taking the time to leave a comment.
Really? Yes.
So leave us a comment if you want to be eligible.
Yeah, I will say at this point though, if you have a question about something, it's probably better to send us an email because we've got Grady managing the email. That way you will be guaranteed a reply, whereas we can't guarantee replies in YouTube comments, though we will try.
We will try. And if you want to email us with a question, it's info@thewoollythistle.com.
Yes. Right.
First prize winner of a $25 gift card is Adrienne Haynes. And Adrienne says, Blossom send-off was beautiful. It makes us all appreciate our fibers, shepherds/farmers, and sheep so much more. Thank you.
Yes.
Blossom.
I bawled my eyes out. I had to watch that twice actually, and I cried both times. It was so sad, and
yes.
you know,
the minute I think we were all a little nervous the minute Rachel said she had some bad news. We were like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, because they'd been without communications up until that point too, so we didn't know until we got her video, which was right around the time we went live or put out the podcast. So, Rachel, we love you. We're thinking about you. We hope that things are on the up, and just thank you so much for letting us see inside your life as a crofter. I think it's very eye-opening for everyone and makes us appreciate so much the wool that we get to knit with. And we're keeping you in our thoughts and looking after all those other sheep and chickens and the kitty cat and the dogs. So yes. Yeah. I wonder what the weather's like up there right now. It was quite bad. It was quite gale force winds, and the boat wasn't, and the plane wasn't.
I did email with her last week, and she was saying that they'd actually had a couple of days of good weather.
Oh, nice.
So
good.
That's good.
Just
I hope
long
that
enough
has continued.
Yeah. I'll never forget when I was there in July of 2017. And the whole week I was there, the weather was amazing. It was amazingly beautiful. And so, yeah, a far cry from how it is through the winter for sure. So anyway, Adrienne,
you can email us at info@thewoollythistle. Put prize winner in all caps in the subject line, and we will quickly get you your prize.
Right. And if you want to be in the running, just give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and
be sure to subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel. Yep. So,
and so that's what I'm wearing.
Yes, what are you whipping on?
What am I whipping on? I literally have no whips to show you. I have a swatch to show you because I'm planning. So part of our live last week, I've been trying to think too, like I think like many of you, I'm thinking about like, well, what do I want to get done next year? What are the things I want to explore? Yes. I don't make hard and fast lists because that's always the thing.
Well, I was just going to say, maybe that's what people could leave as a comment is what is going to be their cast on in the new year? Like, what's the thing you want to knit next year, you know? I would love to know because I'm looking for inspiration myself. Yeah. So I've already sort of fawned over this book. You love this book.
I absolutely love this book.
I love anything with
Did purchase my own copy, and still having a bit of a knitting funk. I am working on something right now. I can't show you because it's for my sister, and she watches the Shopcast, and she's part of the Facebook group, and she's on Instagram, and I can't share it anywhere.
You're in the closet.
So I'm having to work quietly on this thing.
Can't wait till will we get to see it before? Or, after
so
she
what
has
I
it?
will do is record a segment and kind of keep it off to the side, and then after she has received her gift, I can share
that sounds good.
It's really hard for me to not want to talk. I like talking about things.
Yeah.
And
Really?
And so anyway, during our live last week too, Emma happened to be who's one of our contributors who you'll see
Yeah, she's
shortly.
on this time.
She was talking about doing a challenge from Christmas to New Year's, and I may have said that sounds like a fun idea. Of course, yeah, sure, I can try knitting a sweater in a week. I literally about 40 minutes after the live was done told Grady, I'm like, wait, how long is there between Christmas and New Year's? And she's like, that's like a week. And I'm like, that's what I was thinking.
Oh my God, chunky.
Not enough time for me to. But a challenge is always fun, and if I don't do it, I mean, I'll at least make some progress. It's not the end of the world. So it's not a big thing.
So show us.
So I went through Sark and I picked out a pattern.
Many good patterns.
There are so many good patterns in here, and I'm sure this is just going to be the first of many. So I'm going to knit the Herne.
There you go.
Cardigan.
Oh, pretty. So it's a yoke, twisted stitch.
Yeah. This whole collection is twisted stitches. You can see sort of better there the yoke. So I picked up some Strikkegarn. I know.
And you're going to do
all
the color,
patterns
the same
in here
color?
use DK weight. And I'm grabbing I wore it last time, the cardigan that my sister knit me, and I'm grabbing at that more and more.
Yeah.
So I think just having another cardigan in my closet
That's
to grab
similar
for, so
DK.
that's, similar DK, nice, cozy, not too bulky or heavy. So I swatched last night, and I don't remember what color this is.
I think I'm not going to say. We'll put it here.
Yeah. I don't remember.
It's like 103 or something.
Yeah,
in Fennelgarn, though, and I don't know if it's the same in Strikkegarn.
I don't know. We'll put the number right there.
Yeah.
And it really smells nice and sheepy. One of my cats went right for it, but
and it's so lovely and soft.
So this is the first swatch. I let it dry overnight. I need to count and see if I'm on track. But this was on size 6. I did Kelsey's little trick there.
Have you knitted anything of Kay Davies's before?
Yes, I knit her owl sweater.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I've knit something else from her, but I don't know. But I think that I have a couple of things that have been on my list from her for a long while.
Yeah,
she's amazing. That's one of the things on my list for next year. But I'll definitely, so I think this might be a Christmas cast on. Whoop. That's my plan. Whoop, whoop. Whether or not I get it done in that amount of time, which is sort of bonkers. So if you'd like to join Emma and I in a challenge, pick whatever is a challenge for yourself.
Yep.
So you get to, this is super loosey-goosey.
Remember, comparison is the thief of joy, isn't it? So you're only challenging yourself to what is a challenge to you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, and this is absolutely a challenge to me. Why? I don't know. But I'm going to try.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Hey,
worst comes to worst, I end up with half a sweater. What a shame.
I know, and you probably are going to really enjoy knitting it, so it's all good.
Yeah, and I have a few days off around Christmas, so, and I'll be at my sister's house, so hopefully she'll just let me sit on my butt and knit and we can watch movies, and it'll be lovely.
That sounds really,
and it is
good.
DK. So it should go pretty fast. It's not like it's on size 2 needles.
That's what I'm finding knitting with the Aran weight and the Lettlopi and all the others. It's very, very quick. So, yes.
Yeah, because you've knit almost 3 sweaters.
I know.
Pretty quick.
Well, a couple of, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks or something like that. Or it must be longer than that.
It's probably longer than that because at Rhinebeck you were working on this one.
I was working on this at Rhinebeck, which was October. Okay. Yeah, but so we're getting on for 8 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, so.
Yeah. Maybe my challenge is to finish the 4th one.
There you go.
There we are. Yes.
There you go.
I think I need one in red, that sort of red. Yes.
Yeah.
So
that was funny. Look, so that's it. That's what I got.
Very good.
The funk sort of still persists. So I'm glad I have at least some gift making to get me.
You brought in your little.
I did. Forest. These are really cute.
Yes, they're adorable.
I'll just grab a couple. So this is a little pattern. I forget the name of the designer. I know her first name is Julie, and I don't remember her last name. But yeah, we'll put it there. And she has this. You take your like little wine corks, and you just use scraps to make little trees. So
it's adorable.
They're absolutely
got a
adorable.
Little forest happening. I think I don't like knitting tiny circumferences like that, and that's why I don't make things like that. But that probably takes you no time at all.
Yeah, like maybe 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
they're just quick little.
That's awesome.
And it uses up little scraps that you wouldn't do anything else with. I even have one at home that I used like leftover like rainbow sock yarn, or like it's all kinds of pink and yellow and sparkly, and it's just fun.
It's like candy line.
And the cats haven't discovered these yet, so they just sort of lined up.
Yeah,
they've only been out for a few days, so we'll see.
Yes.
But yeah, they're just little fun. I think they'd be really nice too if you put like a string through them.
Oh, like a garland.
And either made a garland or even put them like on a gift.
Yep.
Like if you wanted to.
Yeah. Just bottle of wine to someone.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
So
very nice.
Put the pattern there.
Yeehaw. Yeehaw, yeehaw. Oh, who do we have on the show today?
We have Kelsey joining us today.
Yay,
and
Kelsey.
Emma.
Now, I started watching Kelsey's segment. It's very good. But I could not take my eyes off of her cowl. Does she talk about?
I don't know if she mentions the cowl. I recognize the cowl. It is by Andrea Mowry. I want to say it's got mountain in the name. We'll put the name here.
We're putting a lot there today.
It's a mosaic
It's
cowl.
Gorgeous.
And I've had that pattern. Literally in my library, I bought the pattern because I saw somebody else had knit it. I think it would be fantastic. I don't know what weight it uses. I think it'd be fantastic in Ul Centrum, or even Junction Fiber Mill.
Yeah.
If you used one color changing and one solid.
Yes. Which
looks like that's what Kelsey did.
Well, Kelsey's is lovely, and I was very much enamored with it. So, should we go to Kelsey now? And when we come back, because who else is on the show today?
Emma.
We love Emma. So let's go to Kelsey, hang out with her, and then we'll see you on the other side, and we'll catch up there.
Hi, it's Kelsey again. Just coming back to talk to you about a couple of things. 2 ongoing projects that you've seen before, and then 2 new yarns that we have at the Woolly Thistle that I just wanted to talk a little bit about because I actually really enjoy both of them for very different reasons. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the Christmas stocking I was working on. So here it is. I haven't done the duplicate stitching for my daughter's name, but this is what the stocking looks like. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy how it turned out. My other daughter's stocking looks like this. So it's similar, but different. The reds are actually slightly different. I thought they were the same, but they're not, but that doesn't matter. I don't care. The greens and whites I think are identical, or now looking at it, maybe not quite, but you know, they're rustic and fun. This has not been blocked yet, so it's a little bit bumpy, but I really enjoy it. I really like how it looks. I talked about this my last Shopcast, or maybe the one before, but it's an afterthought heel, and the heel and toe are shaped identically. If you can see that, they've both got the kind of decreases that are the same. And then I just went through some stitch dictionaries and picked out the motifs that I liked that kind of fit together using up the green and white. And my intention is now that I'll be knitting the opposite colors for myself. I don't have it with me, but this is my husband's. That is the opposite of my first daughter's in colors. So then mine will be opposite my second daughter's. And that way you're using the 3 balls of about 113 grams. They're full 4-ounce balls. 1 each of the green, the red, and the yellow. No, not yellow. Natural, sort of creamy, warm cream. To make 2 pretty big, pretty sturdy stockings. I like them a lot because they are pretty sturdy and thick. So they're not going to stretch out. Sometimes if you try to knit a stocking, I mean, it's the same with a sock. If you're knitting it at too loose of a gauge, it could get too floppy and won't have enough structure. But at this gauge with this yarn, it's actually really, really nice. It's not a yarn that we carry at the Woolly Thistle, but I wanted to show a Christmas project. But you could substitute Gros Lambswool, Lettlopi, or Studio Donegal Heathers, which I don't think has a red at this point for Christmas things, but it's a similar gauge if you're looking for that kind of fabric. The second thing that I've been working on is actually, it's also a sock. It's a completely different size sock. And this is from a little bit longer ago. This is still, I got caught up with gift knitting and with Christmas knitting, so this has been put aside a little bit, but I just wanted to talk about it for a second. This is my sock in Rambler, our Woolly Thistle yarn. This is the Telemark sock from Norwegian Socks. It's a book that we carry in the Woolly Thistle. The colors are, the greenish is lichen, and the kind of goldish is, I think it's called golden fern. I'll have to double check. So I knit one sock with this colorway, with the sort of lichen at the heels and toes and cuffs, and in one part of the color work. And now I've been working on the opposite. So this is the golden fern at the top. I just turned the heel, so it's in that part of the heel. This is the sort of checkerboard heel, so you don't see it as much in the full heel as you would in some other socks. And in the color work. And something I wanted to talk about a little bit is kind of how different the color work looks. And I'll talk about why. So all I did was reverse the colors, but I also reversed the dominance. So in both socks, the color that is the diamond, like the solid diamond, so here it's the gold color and here it's the lichen sort of greenish color. I held them both in my left hand to be have them be color dominant, but with the light color it really kind of washes out the gold a bit more than it did with the dark being dominant. And I just thought that was interesting. Like, to me, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm off with this. To me, this looks much more like a solid light green sock with some speckles of the golden fern here and there, where this looks a lot more balanced between the two colors. And it's just an interesting thing that happens with color dominance. So maybe because the colors, even though the motif I switched, because the motif really is pretty 50-50, maybe I should have kept it so that the gold was dominant. I don't know. Any thoughts you have would be great, but I think it's interesting how they do look very different to me. Anyway, I'm going to keep working on those. This is Woolly Thistle Rambler. I'm having a little trouble talking today. Ooh. It's a great yarn. It's been really good in color work. It's becoming a really nice, thick, color work. It's going to be double thick than what it normally would be. So it's a nice, sturdy, warm sock. And I just have to get through this one probably after I'm done with some of this holiday knitting. So the two other things that are not really projects I'm working on per se are talking about two of our yarns that have recently come to the shop. One is the Wensleydale long wool. This is the 4-ply. It's a 50-gram ball with 186 yards. So it's a very different density than, say, a Finalgarn. A Finalgarn ball, and I should have grabbed one, but I didn't, will be about that big, and maybe that big around. So it looks like it's probably a quarter to a third larger, and that's just because of the type of wool that's used. So a Wensleydale sheep provides a long wool as opposed to a crimpier, shorter staple wool. And so it's got a lot of shine to it, and it's got a little bit of hairiness, but not hairiness in like an Icelandic way where it's a little bit scratchy. This is just sort of a fluffy, light hair. It doesn't feel like mohair exactly, but it's got some of that feel where it's just like little tufts. So these two colors are 635 and 601. And most times in a yarn company, if it's 01, it's usually their natural cream, white, something like that. So that's what this guy is. And I knit a little swatch here. So this is with the solid. And again, I was just sort of testing out what kind of fabric I could get. It's pretty stretchy and springy once you get it into a fabric. This is not a very dense swatch. I actually knit this on a US 2, but it is still pretty open because of the density of the yarn. And then this is on a US 1, so it's a little bit denser. Yeah, and you probably can't even see the difference between those two when I'm holding them up. But here's the more interesting part. So that's just stockinette, regular stockinette. I wanted to see sort of what you were looking at for fabric. And in the past I've said what gauge I've been getting, and I was thinking about that a little bit. It's a little misleading to say like, oh, this needle makes this gauge, because everybody's gauge is so different. So I can say that this is in sort of the high 20s, 27, 28. I'm thinking I don't want someone to rely on that. I am going to put a blog post together that explains a little bit more about the swatch. So I'll put in exactly my numbers in there, but I just wanted the video is more for looking at kind of the stretchiness and drape of that fabric. And then I did 2 more little bits of swatch, and it's all connected. So yes, the one affects the other, but I did a really simple lace, which if I pull it, it can open it up a little bit. Really simple lace pattern. And then I did a simple color work pattern. And I have a couple things to say about this. Yes, it works well in color work and it looks nice in color work, but I think it's actually a little bit less, it's less well suited for color work than say Jamieson Smith or Rauma Strikkegarn, just because it has that luster to the wool itself. So it's a little bit shinier. It gives it more stitch definition, which in a lot of applications, including this lace, is really good. But in color work, I think it just makes it look a little pixelated. And yes, I knit squares, but so that makes it pixelated too. But if you're looking for that sort of smooth, traditional looking Fair Isle cohesive fabric that you like to see, and where you can really see the images, you can really see if you're putting like an actual, like not a photo, a likeness of something, and you want it to look like that something, you want it to look like a moose or like a tree or like a flower. It's gonna be a little bit choppier with this. It's still really nice, it still feels really nice, but that wouldn't be my suggestion for this yarn. My suggestion is actually the lace. I'm not a huge lace knitter. I don't knit like huge lace shawls often, but look at the definition in this lace. Yeah, there's some fuzz in between, but all yarns are gonna have that, and it actually kind of adds to the nice ethereal, fluffy, fuzzy nature of the lace itself. But I think it really shows that pattern well. So yeah, so that would be my suggestion actually with the Wensleydale 4-ply is lace. And it's also nice because the lace will make your yarn go really far. You can knit a shawlette, like a little shawl with probably 2 of these. If you want to get into the bigger, like more functional shawls, larger lace shawls, 6 probably. I mean, look at a pattern and see what it says and see how long you want it to be and how deep you want it to be. But you can make a really solid shawl in a nice open lace like I just showed you with 6 or 7 of these little balls. So it's a really good way to use this yarn, both for the quantity of yarn that you're using and also just, I'm going to show it again because it's blown me away. The effect, it's so good. Now I'm getting squeaky because I'm so excited, but I am. Okay, I'll move on. Sorry about that. The other thing that we have in the shop now, that is the big sister to yarns that we've already had, is Lettlopi. I have 2 balls in front of me here, sort of a mustardy one and a greenish one. I actually got these in Iceland before the Woolly Thistle had, actually before COVID and before everything. So these are from a long time ago, but these are 1231 and 9964. So I'm not sure exactly if we have them in this shipment or if we're planning to, but these are the ones that I have, so I wanted to show them. So these are big, fluffy, chunky, Icelandic balls of yarn. I love the colors that the Lopi line comes in there. I find them to be very natural, very sort of rustic but homey. You're not going to find like the bright fuchsia pinks or lime greens or things like that. But some of these really nice classic colors, Lopi does really well. So Lettlopi is effective. It's spun similarly to Lettlopi, but it's effectively double the weight. So it's a 100-gram ball for 109 yards, when the Lettlopi is a 50-gram ball for 109 yards. So it's exactly double the weight. And then Plochilopi is half again of the Lettlopi. And then unspun, so it's a slightly different thing. But this is definitely thicker. It'll definitely give you a denser fabric. Traditionally, this is used for like over sweaters, like not necessarily next to skin, but like the big ones that are used more like a jacket. Hats and mittens, definitely mittens. I would knit this on a tight gauge for some mittens and it'll be weatherproof and it'll be awesome. But I actually wanted to go away from knitting for a second. Ooh. I wanted to suggest, now I haven't used these, clearly these are unused balls, but use it for punch needle. Punch needle is similar to rug hooking. You use a big, this is a non-slip embroidery hook, hoop. So all that means is that there's a bit of a ridge inside the loop so that this fabric is kind of pinched a little bit better than a normal embroidery hoop because you do need the tension. Because what you're doing is you're punching through with the needle and then you get these, this is actually the wrong side. This is the right side. And this is just an abstract thing that I was testing out some yarns and some colors. And these are not Alafas-Lopi, but Alafas-Lopi would be fantastic. It is durable, it is thick, and it fills in this kind of pile really, really well. So I just wanted to jump in and not to say anything blasphemous, but if you have some time for crafting other than your knitting or your crocheting that you normally do, give punch needle a shot and give Alafas-Lopi a shot. I know that's the next thing I'm doing. That's why I have these two in my hand because I think they'd be really cool together in a punch needle project. But yeah, punch needle and Alafas-Lopi, another way to get into fiber, and I think expand what you do with yarn and with wool in a really fun way. So that's all I have today. Happy crafting. I hope everyone's having a great December, and I'll see you next time.
We hope you enjoyed Kelsey's segment. I love seeing her stockings.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Watching her stockings made me realize I totally missed the boat on getting that done for my children.
I felt exactly the same way. I'm like, no, they'll be gone.
You know, I have that moment of like, oh, I could. Nope. My oldest is 20. That ship sailed.
We'll do it for grandkids, many years from now.
If I start now.
Yeah, she's a good mama to getting that done. I did feel a little bit like, oh yeah, I missed that boat. Oh well.
I could maybe do one for me and my husband.
Yes.
But clearly it was just not a priority for me.
Well, no,
it's okay. But hers are absolutely gorgeous.
And I think, what was she saying? It was an Aran weight.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking even Vams would be good for that. A little less expensive, or Lettlopi would be great.
Yeah.
Lettlopi would be really nice.
I think the Lettlopi, even the Navia.
Yes.
The Navia tradition.
That would actually be very good.
Really nice.
Yeah.
It would hold up, keep its shape.
It would, for sure. Yeah. So, okay, and we'll be going to Emma soon, but should we talk about what's in the shop and what's coming, or?
Yes. I will say, too, if you didn't, Kelsey, I loved seeing her swatches of the Wensleydale.
Yes.
She showed that, and
I didn't
I missed
that.
Yeah, that's okay. You'll have to go back.
I will.
She shows how it looks in both color work and lace, and boy, it really shines in the lace.
Really?
That Wensleydale 4-ply. So she shared the 4-ply.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice in shawls and things like that.
Yeah, just really gorgeous. So
thank you, Kelsey. We appreciate you doing that, and I will be watching that. I was started.
Yeah, that's okay.
Got interrupted. But we'll go to Emma shortly. And in the meantime, tell us what's coming to the shop, Maggie.
So we have a few things coming to the shop. I think we mentioned last time that your Uredale is on its way. It is here, and
the shop elves need
the shop elves have been so busy packing your orders. Thank you all so much.
Yes.
And we are also getting ready for a shop move.
Yes, which we did mention, I think.
We did mention, we're moving at the end of the month. So our shop elves, we're not going to overburden our shop elves. So the Uredale is going to be in January. So get on our email list and we'll let you know the exact times.
But that'll be great. It's here, so it's here. We just need to wind it down into little cakes for you and then move it.
And it's precious cargo, so we want to make sure we get it right.
Yep. Take the time and care.
Yep.
Yes.
So that's coming.
Lunenburg.
So the Lunenburg sweater by Amy Christoffers has been, that yarn set has been super popular.
It is knitted in lichen and lace from up there in Canada.
Where did we put that?
It's over there, I think.
Oh.
So her design is in this charcoal colorway, and we keep restocking it, and it keeps selling out. And then, we were at Rhinebeck at the Woolen Folk. Was it Woolen Folk?
I think so.
We saw this lovely color.
Yeah, we saw quite a bit. And actually, Donna in our group. All of a sudden her last name has left my brain. But so Donna knit one with rose as the main color.
And it's beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning. So we have put together yarn sets based on Donna's colors.
Yay! Thank you, Donna.
So
for the inspiration.
So the main color for the sweater is rose, and
all beautiful complementing colors.
Yeah,
yes.
in the yoke. And then we've also put together a kit that uses lake. For the main color of the body.
You know, that's a really nice navy blue. It's not too dark.
Right.
But it's got a nice subtle
Rarely do I meet a blue I don't like, but
I'm sort of on the other side of that, but I really do like that blue. Yeah. Although I feel like my taste is changing. I am becoming more blue.
Yeah. Although I think if you were gonna knit one,
I'd knit that one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Whereas it's funny, I think the feedback we hear from customers, pink is quite polarizing. We have to be like I think you either like it or you don't.
Right. A
little more emphatically than blues.
Yeah.
Typically.
Right. It's interesting. People's color preferences are all different.
So
there's that. But yeah, so Amy Christophers is Savory Knitting. She also designed the Felix sweater and cardigan that we have in Lettlopi.
Yep.
And I feel like she's got another. Oh, the petal flowers.
Pressed flowers. Yeah.
Yeah, she designed the pressed flowers and all of that.
Which is all over the place now. Yes. The shawl was stunning enough, but now the cardigan.
The cardigan. And where are we going to spill the beans?
We're working on it.
There will be a kit.
Yeah.
Yes. Details to be announced.
Yeah. So this is at the moment it's on its way. By the time this airs, they could be in the shop. So go check. If they're not in the shop yet, keep an eye out. They're coming.
And there still will be the charcoal as well.
Yes,
so we'll have 3 choices now for you.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So that's coming. And then we also have the terrain mitts. Marceline Brown, who is also known as Hey Brown Berry, recently released a new pattern. I have a photo of it here for her terrain mitts.
They're fingerless mitts.
Yeah, and they're knit using Jamieson and Smith Supreme. So the terrain mitts kit for the terrain mitts is coming, and it will include the pattern, which I'm really excited about. And these feel so good. So we're waiting for the rest of the darker color to arrive, and kits will be in the shop. So Hey Brown Berry, Marceline Brown. She's just a delightful designer. She knit that. She also designed those socks that you knit.
What were they called? Crossover or something? Yes, I was just wearing them the other day.
Names.
We'll put it here. It's in the 52 Weeks of Socks book, though. It's the first pattern in there.
Yeah.
And I love them. I knit mine in John Urban Exmoor sock yarn, I believe.
Yeah.
And they're really good. Yeah.
I like watching her podcast. She's
so
just very
mellow.
relaxing. And I noticed on Instagram she started like a separate Instagram account for like her own like lifting and working out, and I'm so inspired.
Yep.
I really need to get my butt moving next year.
Yes, well, I still have a boot on, so I'm not even walking around.
I don't have a boot. I have no excuse other than
you have your 2 legs and get on with it.
Feel like it. So anyway, kits will be in the shop very soon. Hopefully they're here. I think
there'll be a fun, quick knit as well. A little bit of color work and fingerless, so nice and fast.
Yeah, we're recording on a Monday, so I'm hoping by Friday this is live in the shop.
And I really like Jamieson and Smith Supreme.
Yeah, it feels really good.
It does, doesn't it?
It's just really. I don't know that I've knit with it yet.
Oh, it's nice.
Super weird.
Yeah, I did. I knitted my lovage. The body was in that. Yeah. It's slightly thicker than a 2-ply, but you can definitely knit them together. So if you have some 2-ply in your stash, you could match it with
these
that.
mitts, just feeling, this is going to be super cozy mitts.
Yes. Okay, so what's available in the shop right now that we want to highlight, Maggie? We've got 52 weeks of easy knits right there.
Yes, this came the other day in the shop. Sorry, I might have like a moment over there. So 52 weeks
question marks.
52 weeks of Easy Knits is available now in the shop. It released like a week ago.
Nice big book.
It is a nice big book. It has some really wonderful patterns in it. Also, they give you like some different techniques and tips and tricks at the beginning if you're new to knitting. Fun sweaters. Balaclavas are apparently back in stock. All of a sudden, I'm seeing them everywhere, just popping up.
Yep.
Grady and I were talking about this. So they've got socks in there.
All the things.
There really are
sweater.
There was one
Oh, I love
nice
that.
scarf.
With little baubles, though, different colored baubles.
Yeah.
Very clever.
There are some really good vests too. This nice short sleeve sweater.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
a good
really
all
good.
round, get you started knitting. Get you reading a pattern.
Really like
Oh, is it?
this one.
Yeah.
I really like the texture on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Cute. Cute.
lots of really fun patterns in here, 52 of them, and that's available in the shop. Now, releasing today is line of 16. I'm sure it'll be here by Friday, but recording on Monday, it's not quite here, so we can't share it with you or give you a flip through, but it should be here now.
Yep.
And
it'll be on our Instagram, I'm sure, when it goes live. We'll do a real flip through.
I like doing those flip throughs.
Yeah.
It's just kind of nice to see what's in there.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have some lovely Garthenor new to the shop.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
And this is available now.
yes. So we, Garthenor Teffy was their Rhinebeck special, and we were fortunate to be able to get some of it here in the shop.
Yes.
And this is an organic Romney Lambswool and Shetland blend.
Killing me. It's gorgeous.
It really is. And it's a 50-50 blend.
So this one is with cream and this one's with grey. So if they're looking slightly different, they are.
Oh.
Yes, I think that is true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this one is Shuttle 1 and this one's Origin 1. I love this green.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really fun.
So, yeah, this one's Origin 06 and then Origin 04 with the cream.
This here, and they're all, it looks like they're all Romney, Lambswool, and 50% Shetland. So this one here is Meander 4, which I like. And this is Meander 3 with a brighter red. Tons of
And
these.
more MOR with an accent over the O. 03 and 06. So really fun.
Huh. A phone or a fawn 04. This is really pretty. And then this one is Origin 3. Love these.
And then these are both shuttle, and this is the 02 and the 05.
Which is different again from the Meander.
Yeah,
Look at, oh my God, look at all
Right?
that. Fun.
very fun.
I love the grays.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fawn again. This is 1, which is mixed with white, a very light gray. And then 06, a fawn 06.
And these are more. This is 01 and 04, and that's such a subtle marling.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Oh,
These are really nice.
these really are. Origin 5 goes with Shuttle 1 and Origin 1. I mean, you can really go crazy with all these.
This one's Meander 06, and this one is a fawn 02. So this is the line of meanders. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
There must be a 5 somewhere.
Yep.
But these are lovely. Aren't they lovely? And they're so very, very soft.
Yes. So then these are all shuttle. We've got 1, 2. Those are cute. Those look timely, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
1, 2, and 5 and 6.
Very nice. Love that.
Very nice.
So this is the phone collection. Very pretty. Blues and grays.
Yeah. And then these are the more. 1, 4, 3, and 6.
And then for Meander, we've got 3, 4 in the middle and 5. No, 3, 4, and 6. The blue is 6. And then lastly, we've got Origin 1, 5, and 1, 3, and 5.
And 6.
And 6.
And 4.
And 4. Oops. Okay, 1. Okay. Oh, hands. There. Aren't those pretty?
Really pretty.
Gorgeous. I really like these. Very nice. Very nice. So those are in the shop now.
Yeah.
Yes. And so they're a 4-ply.
They are. It says 4-ply/sport. So I would do some swatching. I think there's probably some flexibility there in what kind of projects you can make.
And of course, Garthenor is a mill. They just moved not long ago, but they're right on the Welsh border, which is nice.
This would easily be soft.
It really is.
Soft.
It's beautiful. It's a nice loose ply.
I think for most of us.
Yeah.
This is. There we go.
Smells good too.
It does.
Love it.
All right.
Okay, so what else? We talked about the Buness tam. Do you want to announce the winner and then we'll go to Emma?
Yes, although are we coming back after Emma?
I don't know.
Because I want to show what's in the box.
Oh, then come back after Emma. But first we'll announce the winner.
Yeah.
Then we'll go to Emma and then we'll show what's in the box.
Our second winner today of a $25 gift card to the Woolly Thistle is Denise Engel. And Denise says, thank you for the Shopcast. I would love to be as productive as Maggie when I am in a funk.
Same.
Thanks to Rachel for sharing the loss of Blossom and the photo montage of Blossom's life. Rachel, you truly are the definition of a shepherd.
Aww.
So thank you, Denise. You have won. If you can email us at info@thewoollythistle, put prize winner in all caps in the subject line, we will get you your prize.
Yes. And if you want to be in the running, just leave a comment below. You can leave any comment, though I was suggesting you tell us what you're going to be knitting in the new year.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. And leave a comment, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel.
I think either, because we're just flying by the seat of our pants, either what your plans are for next year or what was your favorite thing you knit this year.
Oh, even better.
Or made.
Yes. Just leave a comment, you'll be in the running.
If
you're lost for words, unlike us, you've got a couple of prompts now. Okay, so we're going to go to Emma. What's Emma sharing with us this time?
Emma is talking about her ugly Christmas sweater. It's gorgeous. It's not ugly. We need to talk to Emma about what ugly means.
Yes.
So she shares a little bit about that and gift knitting and some of her spinning. She's been a spinning machine.
All right. Well, I always enjoy Emma, so let's go watch her and then come back and we'll show you what's in there.
Yeah.
I'll see you in a bit.
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's having a great December and a great, pre-holiday season kind of start to all of that. If we haven't met before, my name's Emma, and I'm here about once a month to talk about knitting, of course, and how much I love woolly wool. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about finding joy in holiday knitting because holiday knitting is really stressful. A lot of people actually, they know this, they plan for this. And I think a lot of people do their holiday knitting really early because they don't want to be stressed in December. Maybe they want to do some Advent knitting. Maybe they just don't like a time crunch on their knitting. Maybe they're just making small projects, whatever it is. Some people don't like to do gift knitting because they want to put all that time and energy into something that they want to have for themselves, which is also great. Or they just don't really want the added stress. I'm actually a person who tends to give people things that I've knitted whenever they're done. Sometimes it's just like, that's fine. People understand. Knitting is very it happens when it happens. It takes a long time. It's a very personal gift, but I think it's nice to just kind of give somebody a sweater in the middle of March and say, this is what I made you. Here, this is when you're getting it because it's done. But I definitely am a holiday knitter. And I, even in college, I would go home for Christmas break, a holiday break, and I would knit hats for all my friends. And a lot of my friends weren't even hat wearers. And but you want to do this and have this gesture to, give to your friends or whatever it is. So I tend to knit now around the holidays. I give people things that I've knit throughout the year. So this year it's socks, but I tend to knit for my family. Whoever's around me on, Christmas for me, that's the holiday that I celebrate. But I tend to give people in my family something on Christmas that I've knitted. So this year I am knitting a version of this sweater for my brother, which I'm going to show you. This is the reindeer sweater, and it is published it was published by Istex, which is the company that produces Lettlopi and Lopi and all of the Lopi, all the Lopi yarn we love. And this pattern is available on its own that you can purchase on Ravelry, and it is my absolute ideal ugly Christmas sweater. So you've got your reindeer, you got your trees, you've got more trees on the cuffs. There's also trees on the hem. For my version, I used Navia Traditions, which is fantastic Aran weight yarn from the Faroe Islands. It's very woolly, it's worsted spun, but I just loved this bright red. I just thought it screamed holidays to me, and I love it. So I decided to make my brother a matching one in green, and I knitted it too big, and I'm now knitting it again. I knitted the entire sweater and it was too big. And here you can see it. This is just knitted from woolly wools that I had in my stash. I'm gonna try and pick this up without losing too many stitches because I never have stitch stoppers when I need them. Always have them around and never have them when I need them. So let's see. There you can see the reindeers are not quite done yet. But I'm working on the reindeer heads. And it's getting smaller from here, so that's great. And I have to say, it's really frustrating when you knit something and you realize it's just too big and you have to knit it again. It feels frustrating. My favorite advice, take it in its stride and think about the fact that you get to knit it again. You don't have to knit it again because knitting is not supposed to be something that we find is a chore, because then why are we knitting? This is something that we're doing in our leisure time. It's not something that should be causing so much stress. Sometimes stress is good. And if you're knitting for people for the holidays, that's kind of good stress. You're trying to get it all done, but you're really happy. You know they're gonna love it. You can't wait to see the look on their face when they open it or whatever. But whenever I have to knit something again, especially something as big as a sweater, I just think, okay, this is a privilege. Knitting is a privilege. I get to knit it again. And sometimes it just helps to say that. So yeah, because I love knitting. Why shouldn't I want to knit something again? But the other moral of this story is ask somebody what their size is before you knit. Like, I kind of made assumptions because I was changing the gauge on this and I was wrong. And then after I knitted the first one, I asked my brother to take a sweater out of his closet that he loves and to just measure it in the ways that the measurements I needed. So like across the chest and, collar to hem down the back, collar to hem down the sleeve. Those were all the measurements I needed. I ended up knitting 2 sizes smaller because that's how big it was. So I think the extra small is going to fit my 6'2", maybe he's not 6'2", he's more than 6 feet tall, 6 foot something big old brother. So he's big in the sense that he's actually much younger than me, but I think he's gonna really love it. And he is someone who loves a good joke. So I think he's gonna think that the matching sweaters are really funny and he's not gonna be embarrassed as he would have been 5 years ago when he was in high school. So I'm really excited for that. So this is almost done. And I was so good. I started knitting this in like September and I knitted the whole thing in September, and then it was too big and I waited 2 months to rip it out and start it again. But it's still gonna be done by Christmas. So almost done. This is a classic bottom-up yoke sweater pattern. If you've never done a bottom-up sweater, I kind of like it because the fun part, the yoke is at the end and you never have to do like sleeve island at the end. You do the sleeves like on their own. They're so small. It's really a lot easier to use those shorty needles from Chiaogu that a lot of us have kind of loved and known this past year. So yeah. Yes, but I definitely recommend, if you're changing the gauge on something, check your math and check your person's measurements if it's not for you. But it's a privilege to knit it again. And so, I'm knitting a lot this Christmas because at home, we're gonna be my immediate family and my grandparents. So I really can't wait, but it means I have to knit for my grandparents too. So I had to kind of think on the fly for that because I was told that they were coming to visit for Christmas in November. So I've sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a time crunch on things. Like, I have to say, this cowl, this Fair Isle cowl that I've got here, which does have stitch stoppers on it, good for me. This is something that I started for the Woolly Thistle accessory cowl, the colorwork accessory cowl, in February of this year. And I do love Fair Isle knitting, as anyone who's seen me before probably knows, but it tends to take a long time. And sometimes it's just, I don't know. This is a cowl of my own design, knitted all in 2-ply jumper weight from Jameson & Smith and some of Jameson's of Shetland, which is kind of an interchangeable yarn, all in greens and grays and white. As you can see, it's pretty simple. The lozenge and X, the OXO here, this is the same everywhere, but it's offset by half. So the X here lines up with the O, which lines up with the X, which lines up with the O. So yeah, and it's very, there's tons of colors in this. There's 4 background colors and 4 motif colors. There's 8 colors, and it's very much like a watercolor painting, especially in this OXO motif here. I will be publishing this pattern for those of you who are interested in knitting it. And I've knitted cowls like this in like the similar type of, you know, monochromatic-ish colorways. So I've done one in blue, and I've also done one in pink, well, blues and pinks, you know, with grays. And I really like it. So, you know, I really just want to have this off the needles. And this is a single cowl that's going to have a Mobius twist. So there's going to be one twist in it. It's going to pop right over the head, not be too tight. Just going to keep my grandmother warm in freezing Alberta winters, which is where she lives. She's 85. Both my grandparents are 85 and they live in Alberta. So I have 2 more repeats to do of this, and then it will be done. And, you know, I can get a solid repeat of this done in about 2 hours. So I'm hoping, you know, next week I'll have a couple of evenings to just sit, and here, I'll show it to you again. I know people like to see up close and they like it when I hold them here, so I'm doing that. I'm knitting my grandfather a scarf as well, but it's not nearly as interesting. It's just a plain brown scarf. But it is woolly and it's soft and it's gonna be really cozy. So I think that'll be nice. But I find that to be a good social knitting because I, like many, you know, advanced knitters, I find it very boring to knit plain scarves, especially like they just grow and they're huge and they're just like flopping, you know, around you when you're sitting at the table, and it's exhausting. And the stitch pattern is very simple. So I am using my social time with friends, or, you know, if I go, you know, to trivia night or something with my friends, I'll bring this scarf because I get a lot done in a couple of hours and it kind of gets done over time. And I'm pretty close to the end of that. So what I'm kind of been thinking of lately though is, you know, I really want to do Advent knitting, and I don't, you know, really have time to do a mini skein a day kind of Advent, and I have tons and tons of leftover yarns, and I would make my own Advent calendar happily. But in order to kind of scratch that itch a little bit, I have been working on something that many people do, which is scrappy blanket. I have this scrappy blanket. It is just a mitered square blanket, but the squares are really little, and I really like it. So this is a mitered square blanket that with just sock weight scraps, and most of the yarns are actual sock yarns. I have a few woollier ones. I know this guy here, this green one, which is a little awkward because the gauge is a little looser. I should have knitted it tighter. This is a Shetland wool, but eventually it's gonna have more Shetland wool in it. But I've knitted a lot of socks, and some of these are singles, like this purple one's the shiny one here. That's a single ply merino fingering weight. But yeah, every time I knit a pair of socks, I put the leftover yarn in a bag, this bag, and it's just a paper bag from a bookstore, and it's full of, well, there's only a couple of ones left because I go down to my stash and I fill it with new colors every time I'm done. So I've got a few left here, and you know, when I have, it only takes me half an hour or so to do one of these little tiny squares. So when I have half an hour, or sometimes on Scrappy Sunday, I'll just sit and I'll work on this for a while. And it's kind of scratching that itch. And every year, I think maybe this year I'll get all my Christmas knitting or holiday knitting done before December, or whenever Advent starts. For a lot of people, that's December 1st. For me, it's the first Sunday of Advent, which this year was in November. But I'm also really looking forward to what I'm calling my Christmas to New Year's challenge. And I joined the Facebook Live last Friday, where Maggie and Grady were talking about things, and they were talking about Appledore, and we got into this little thing in the comments with me and Caitlin, and then Maggie and Grady on the library said, what if we did a Christmas to New Year's challenge? And I was joking about how I had a sweater quantity of Appledore in my stash, which I actually bought in England, which is now a new yarn in the shop, so you should check it out because it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm not actually gonna knit my Appledore sweater because I actually have a sweater that I want to knit even more because I really want to wear this sweater on New Year's Eve. So I'm actually going to be casting on a wool and mohair sweater with a gold sparkly thread. And this is just some hand-dyed yarn. I dyed the 2 gold yarns myself, and then this is King Cole Cosmos, which you can just Google if you would like to get some glitter yarn. But I got inspired by the grocery girls. We saw Tracy at Rhinebeck wearing her gold sparkly sweater, and I was like, I gotta have one of those. So if you'd like to knit this with woolly thistle yarns, you can get the Rauma, the fuzzy Rauma yarn, the name of which is slipping my mind, but I'm sure that they will tell you what it is on the screen. And like Rauma Fennel Garn or Lamel Garn or anything that goes with that Rauma mohair. Or you could use Biches, Bûches, Le Petit, Silk and Mohair. So yeah, and if you'd like to knit a big Aran white sweater like this with yarn from the shop, we've got Biches, Bûches, Gros, Lambswool. Gros Lambswool, I think would be the French pronunciation. You could use the Navia Tradition yarn. You could use Peace Fleece worsted, Ulcentrum worsted, or of course Lettlopi, which is what this pattern is actually written for. But yeah, otherwise I've been kind of, I would say some of my advice for holiday knitting is kind of break up your holiday knitting and make sure that you have different types of projects. So like I said, I have these 2 colorwork projects that I've just shown you, but I also have some simpler projects, like I'm making socks for my dad that are really simple, and the scarf for my grandfather is really simple, so that when I'm not feeling it for the complicated stuff, I can just pick up a more simple project, and it's easy to kind of think, that's fine. You know, I'll do this other thing and it'll keep me occupied for a while. But I've also really been enjoying spinning like Maggie is lately, and I'm doing some gift spinning as well. So I'm spinning some yarns for a friend, and I've really been enjoying the kind of fractal barber pole effect. And I actually use different, if you're a spinner, you know, tell me if this is crazy, but I use different wools. I dye random pieces of wool, different breeds, very different, and they all go into this skein together. I just root through my bag of dyed fiber and I pull out the ones I like, or I have friends do it for me if I'm not feeling super, you know, creative that day. And then I just tear them all into pieces and I spin them all little short. I try to do shorter, you know, iterations of each color so that they change frequently. Here's a couple more. These ones are for me. These 2 are gifts, but these ones are for me. And I'm probably gonna, you know, end up knitting for other people and giving them away, but got the purples and the greens. And yeah, so I've really been enjoying all the spin chat on the Woolly Thistle Shopcast from Caitlin and Maggie. I also have a wheel, as the team that went to Rhinebeck with me knows. I got a new wheel at Rhinebeck. Got a used Shacked Matchless, which is older than me, which is amazing because it works perfectly. Most of these are just hand-dyed random fibers, but this one is a Nest Club colorway, if people are wondering. But yeah. So I hope that this inspires you, you know, or just gets you excited for holiday knitting. Just think of how happy everyone's gonna be when you give them beautiful knitted things. Or, you know what? Don't rush yourself and say, it's gonna get there when it gets there to that person, and they're gonna enjoy it anyway. Give somebody something that's half done and the needles are still in it, and wrap it up in a box and say, it'll be done in a few weeks. They'll still appreciate that. I'm really hoping I don't have to do that this year, but you never know. So anyway, thank you all for watching. If you'd like to see more of me, you can follow me on Instagram at Barnaby Knits, or you can see me every week on YouTube on my show, Tiny Desk Knitting. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next month. Bye.
We hope you enjoyed Emma as much as we did. I love seeing her Christmas sweater.
She's amazing.
I'm having regrets that I did not knit a Christmas sweater. It was sort of on my list, and then it just didn't get done.
Well, you can start for next year earlier.
Yeah. I think too, like, I'm still working on my Amcal shawl. I did not bring it. I spared you all.
Oh, yes.
I'll bring it when it's finished. And
okay.
I am going to finish it.
Yes.
But I didn't feel like you need to watch me go at a snail's pace with this shawl. So you're welcome. But I'm hoping that in January it will be done. I'd like to get... I'm having that feeling like I want to clear the needles.
Time to, yes.
One way or another.
I think that's something I want to do over the holidays is get everything out. I've got, because I moved all my stuff to my new house and it's all in a corner in the back closet kind of thing. Yeah. I need to pull it all out and start, deciding, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to rip it or get going on it? I don't have too much that's languishing, but there is mystery bags back there that I need to. Yeah. That would be a fun thing to do. I don't have too many mystery bags. Yeah. I have a couple of socks. Like I had a sock kit going, and then I got one done, or half of one done, and then not. Yeah. But either way. So Maggie, what is in this box? Do tell.
So this is our latest book bundle. I absolutely love this.
We love this one.
This one is really.
But we love them all.
I do love them all, but this one has been like super tempting. It's all been tempting, but when you work here, you sort of I have to temper the tempting.
We'll work for yarn, basically.
Yes. So, so in our book bundle comes our tote bag, and then I will lift this up so that you can see it because it is absolutely adorable.
Look at these books, and there's a cookie cutter and stitch markers and yarn underneath. So let's talk about these.
So, these books, I'm really excited for these books.
I can't wait to read these.
I know. Here you can hold
Yes,
it.
thank you.
So these are written by a Swedish author, and they are about a woman named Maud, an older elderly woman named Maud, who resolves problems by killing people. I don't know how else to say that. It is dark comedy. Krista, who is one of our
well, she's our fulfillment
manager, and she in a previous life was a librarian, and so she vets all of our books for our book bundles, which we absolutely love, and she really enjoyed these.
And such a quick read too. It's such a cute book.
They're just adorable.
Yes.
And the stories seem very funny.
There's a needle going through the skull.
Yeah, they're just adorable.
Yes.
So we've paired that with, there is a gingerbread man cookie cutter.
Now these are all relevant to the story.
Yes. So one of the books has a gingerbread recipe in it. So you get one of those. There are stitch markers. They're all really, really cute. And these are based off of Krista helped pick these, and I think as you're reading through the books, you'll see how the stitch markers are relevant. So we have a little light bulb. We have skull and crossbones. Cute little, I love this one. A cute little teapot. An airplane.
Aha.
I'm just showing them all off apparently.
Yeah.
A cupcake and a little wine bottle.
Awesome.
A couple
of glasses, yeah.
So you get this stitch marker set, and then you get a choice of, but all of the boxes come with 4 skeins of all centrum.
Which is a Swedish yarn, so it makes complete sense. Yes.
So you'll get your choice of that. We have a variety of worsted weight or sport weight options, so you get to pick.
And you get different colors. Yes, different color choices.
So the different options. We just gave you, we figured we would try this with giving you a bunch of choices.
Yep.
And they've gone really well.
Yeah.
So at time of recording, we still have some boxes in the shop. These went live last Friday.
Right.
If you have missed the colorway that you want, you can sign up for the back in stock notice. I think that we're going to restock these.
Yeah, this is done really, really well, which, we can't argue with that.
Yeah,
really good.
They're just so fun.
Yes, so and a good value getting 4 skeins in this box.
So this is one of the colorways. I believe this is worsted color option 1. I did bring the other options. I really like this option.
Gold. Oh yeah.
This is sport choice number 2.
So pretty.
I really like that. And it comes with one of the variegated skeins.
Pretty.
Let's see. I don't remember which choice this is, but
what weight is it?
One of them. This one is also sport weight.
Yeah. Love that.
I love them.
Yeah. Yeah, so they've been doing really, really well. And we do enjoy Old Centrum here, so it's a reasonably priced yarn for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so this box is $99.95, which is fantastic. And it really is. It's a chock full. It's very abundant.
Everything's here, so it's all shipping out. No wait or anything. Yeah. Maggie, I think that's everything. Have we showed everybody everything for this episode? So, yes. Okay, well, it's time for us to say goodbye. But before we do, if you are celebrating the holidays or however you celebrate, we hope that you are safe and happy and doing exactly what you want. I hope there's lots of knitting involved.
Yes.
Yep.
We appreciate you being here with us, and we do have a special treat cooked up for you that I'll be releasing later this month.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And have safe, warm, and happy holidays.
Yeah. And I think, Maggie, now all that's left to say is if you go out,
take your knitting.
Bye-bye.